Welcome to the Soul of Innovation podcast. I am Thomas Anglero, and you ever wonder why you're in the situation you're in? Why you're in the relationship you're in? Why you physically look the way you look? Let me tell you a story. The other night I was at a restaurant, and sitting across from me was a woman, young lady, mid-20s, pregnant, glowing because she's pregnant, and it was beautiful. But she was unhappy. She sat alone, and 45 minutes into her meal, finally, I assume her man showed up. And instead of him coming over and saying, "I am so sorry," or whatever, he came over and said, "I'm sorry," sat down, and actually showed up with his meal. So I guess he went to the counter and picked up his meal before he even sat down. And sat down at the table with her, said, "I'm sorry," and just started to eat. She sat there for 45 minutes, pregnant, by herself, picking up her fork every couple of minutes to eat, to delay the time, feeling utterly and totally alone. At my table with me and my family, we were laughing, celebrating, having a wonderful time, making fun of each other. And at their table, as a couple, they talked a bit. There was no energy. There was no life. This is not a comparison discussion. This is a discussion of what happened when she got up. When they were all done, after about an hour plus, a very limited conversation, because I was sitting closest to them. It's not that I was dipping, just can't help it. As she got up from the table and the meal was over, she got up slowly and looked me deep in my eyes. The look she gave me was, "Oh, how lucky you are." A look of envy, a look of sadness. And I thought to myself as she walked away, why did you settle? Have you settled? Are you happy in the position that you're in? Are you happy in the relationship you're in? Are you happy with the person you're with? Are you happy with the job that you have? Are you happy in the position that you have in your job? Are you happy with the way that you look? Why have you settled? What I mean by that is, why have you settled for who you are, for the person that you're with? Why you ended up with him? Why did you end up with her? Why did you end up with a woman who's not equal to you, a man not equal to you, who doesn't talk to you the way you want to be talked to, who doesn't see you the way you want to be seen, who doesn't make you feel the way you want to be feel? Why have you settled for less? Why have you done that? Pause this podcast and think for a moment, and think for an hour, think for a week, think for a month. Why have you settled for less? Your unhappiness, are you truly happy? A lot of people say they're happy. Throughout her meal, matter of fact, when he said, "Sorry for being late," then sat his butt down and started eating, and that was it. Her answer was, "It's fine." The woman's pregnant. The woman's sitting alone for 45 minutes in a restaurant. That is not where she wants to be. That is not the situation she wants to be in. That is not the type of relationship she wants to be in. And being pregnant, you want to be taken care of all the time. And when he finally shows up, you go, "That's okay. You settled, baby." Do you do that? Do you settle with the person that you're with, that they treat you horrifically, disrespectfully, and you go, "That's okay"? He or she yells at you, doesn't give you the love that you need. When you're tired, you don't get any sympathy, empathy. And you in your mind go, that's okay. Or worse, you tell them, that's okay. Why have you settled? Why haven't you found that person? Why haven't you taken the risk? Have you settled because you're not willing to put in the effort? Is life supposed to come to you? Think about it. When the hell has the last time a lottery ticket fallen from the sky, fallen on your lap with all the winning numbers? Is that what you're waiting for? Is it that you're not willing to take any risk? Are you not willing to have society see you as someone who is different? I was just talking to someone who I haven't spoken to in a very, very long time. They went to the United States. They were brought up outside the United States, went to the United States for university, got a full scholarship in sports, came back home, and they returned to who they were. This is not the first person I've seen do this. This is maybe the third or fourth or fifth person that I've seen leave the country, any country, go to some other country, be influenced by the culture, be consumed by the culture, find themselves, find that they had another side of them that they never knew they had. They had a different sense of humor. They had a different style. They had different taste in food, smell. Matter of fact, they found out they were coordinated enough and they could freaking dance their ass off. And when they come home, they settle. They settle for what they were. Not that what they were was anything bad, but it was a hell of a lot less than what they are. Have you settled for what you were and you haven't achieved what you are? Why are you settling? Why? You know you're not what you're supposed to be. You know you're more than what you're supposed to do, but you settle. When you watch a movie, you see other people in their life. You see other situations and you go, oh, I wish I was that. Sometimes you see a movie and you go, I could do that. I could be there. That's me. Then why don't you go for it? Why is it when that Netflix movie is over, you shut the TV off, you shut the PC off, or your mobile phone off, you settle right back into the life that you have? Why are you settling? Why aren't you being who you're meant to be? You're so much more. What are those things that you're fantastic at, you were good at? Why aren't you doing those things today? Why aren't you being at those places today? Do you remember that time that you laughed on the beach? Do you remember that time you walked in the mountains? Do you remember that time you played with somebody, you walked down the street and had a good time laughing? Who are you? Are you really who you are? Are you really that person who settled and said, it's okay? Not take any risk. Is that enough? Is that enough for you? What does it take you for you to get out of your situation? It's just to be you. No one has told you you cannot be who you meant to be. Let me call all the bullshit away for you. Your parents have no right to tell you who you're meant to be. You are now an adult. When they told you that stuff, when you were a child and they were an adult, they did that to protect you because you were a child. You're an adult today. An adult makes decisions for an adult. You make decisions for yourself. Why are you holding on to some crap that was told to a child? That's number one. Number two, society. Society makes up rules. Tell me something. Who's that person who made that rule? You're never going to find him. You're never going to find her. It's a bunch of bullshit. Society is made up of you, me, everyone else. It's made up of people. And our actions decide the rules of society. Today's society, because of social media, has gone a very interesting, dark direction. Let's say bad. Let's not put a color to it. Are you allowing social media to decide your life? You decide what social media decides, whatever you do, wherever you go. Stop following the sheep. You're following what other people do, what other people say that you can and cannot do. Are you a sheep? Look at yourself. Do you go bah? You don't. You're not a sheep. You weren't born to be a sheep. You were born to be a human, a spiritual being with endless possibilities, an unstoppable force. Do you see yourself as an unstoppable force? No one has told you not to be. And if they have, they're not your friends. They're not your family. They are enemy number one. If anybody holds you back mentally, anybody holds you back spiritually, if anybody holds you back physically, they are not your friend. They are enemy number one. In life, you surround yourself with people who support you, who lift you, who embrace you, who see you for what you are going to be. And then you blow them away by exceeding even their dreams. If any of this does not resonate with you, then I have one question for you. Why have you settled for less with you? Why have you settled? No one's going to stop you but you. You're afraid to be embarrassed in public? Who cares? What's the worst thing that could happen? They laugh at you for a moment and then they move on. It costs you a moment to be you. When somebody breaks a world record, the moment after the world record is broken, there's always a moment of pause and awe. When you do something different and people laugh at you, there's always a moment of pause and awe, because that moment of pause and awe is that people don't know what to do. They've never thought that way. They've never seen anything that way. They never smelled a flavor like that before. And they're trying to understand, what is this new moment that I've never been in before? Your job is to create those moments over and over again. Your job is to be the ultimate version of you, and to be you, that person, that version of you that is built on awe and pause. Why have you settled? Go forth and spread beauty and light. Don't accept what your school teachers say. Don't accept what your friends say. Don't accept what your teammates say. Don't accept what your colleagues say. Don't accept what your parents say. Don't accept what their neighbors say. Don't accept what TikTok says, Instagram, Facebook. I don't care what the hell's out there. You only accept what you think. When you close your eyes or your eyes is open and you see you, that's the only person you accept is you. You define you. You define when you're tired. You define when you are time to go to bed. You define where your limit of energy is, your capabilities, your imaginations, your dream. You define you. No one else defines you. Do not settle for less. Do not settle. Do not allow anyone to show up 45 minutes late to a dinner, not look you in the eye when they sit down, give a half-ass apology, eat their food, don't talk to you really for the next hour, get up, and he made her pay the bill. Don't settle. You're better than that. I'm Thomas Anglero. Hard love. Real love. Because I love you. Until next time. Thank you for listening to that episode. If you want to contact me, you can contact me on my website at anglero.com. And you can also subscribe to the newsletter. Or you can find me anywhere on social media with Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you very soon.